All right, we are back right here on Around Midnight. Oh, I just hit my mic there. I am Joe Carbonetta. I've got Todd Fluker, Chevelle Devine joining me this evening. And what are you doing now, Todd?
I'm putting my hand in the shot so people know I'm here.
Oh.
Waka, 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 waka.
I see. That's Todd. Yeah,
that was weird.
That was Curly. I don't know what that was.
What was that?
Dude,
Oh, did that thing
like,
just die? I think your plug came out.
He would do
No,
like,
actually, I think what happened is Microsoft ran a fantastic update and has just like murdered our
what was that thing the Stooges would do? They would be like,
Yeah. And they,
yeah.
Oh, no, you might be right.
And then they would attack each other.
look on the side right there. It was plugged in on the side, right?
No, it was, and then we had the dock working, and now the dock isn't working again.
Well, apparently one of
well.
our viewers, Tracy, she says she would pay money to see that. I think she was referring to us attacking each other like the Stooges would.
No, I think it's just about you getting poked in the eyes. I'm pretty sure that's what that was
I can
about.
arrange that.
See a local boys battle royale.
Yeah, I can totally do that.
Yeah. Tweet at Chevelle and tell him which one you think would win a battle royale.
Yeah, you could do that.
I
I mean, come on, guys. You both know
I'm
I would
sorry,
take
wait.
both of you out.
Are we advocating violence on the show now? This is totally not.
come on,
No,
man.
no,
Come
because
on.
I'm short
You're getting
enough.
pretty
I
flabby.
would get you at the kneecaps.
Yeah, but I still got a little gusto in me.
I would totally get you at the kneecaps. You wouldn't even know it hit you.
I don't know. I think we talked about this before, but you know how awesome you are when you fight in your brain
Yeah.
versus in real life? Like in your brain, you're out there like, like the super cyber Power Ranger guy, but in real life, you're like the Star Wars kid.
I have no idea what you're talking about with the super
Yeah.
cyber Power
I mean, the Power
Ranger.
Rangers were kind of wild and crazy. They just jumped around and did a bunch of crazy crap. But
I've never watched a Power Rangers episode.
You're
of
missing out,
anything.
man.
No,
you're
it
missing
was-
out. You're missing out. You need to get on board.
Yeah. Okay. Speaking of getting on board,
But before you get too far, there was this National Geographic did an issue on race, and they had this story. And there's these two twins. One is black and one is white, but they are actually twins. So how do you deal with that? Like one is like blonde, and the other
Yeah.
one has all the other.
And that's what Kelly jumps
features.
in on the Facebook chat. She says, yeah, our kid is technically a quarter African American. So what box do we
black
check
is
for
black,
her?
man.
And that's what I was that's what I was always drilled into me when I was younger and I cared about such things. They were like, yeah, if you're any black, you're black.
yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Is you can't call yourself white if you have even like 1 something
Yeah.
of
If
like
you've ever
another.
sat in the back of a bus, you're black. I don't care what you look like. That's probably not politically
What?
correct. I don't know where I'm going with that.
Huh.
If you've ever been hit by a cop, oh wait, no, let's not go down that road.
And Tracy says, yeah, she wants to see Todd get poked in the eyes. Wow, Tracy, thanks for that.
See, I told you.
Says-
She's totally wanted to see you get poked in the eyes.
Violence sells.
Maybe that's not- I'm gonna.
I kind of like Tracy. I think Tracy's all right. It's like,
But can you think about that? If people did the stuff they did in the Stooges, like they were braining each other with wrenches,
Oh, yeah.
well, come on.
hitting each other with hammers.
Who actually thought any
kicking
of that was
ladders
real?
out from under each
Who
other?
thought any of that was real?
Apparently, a lot of people who wanted all these rules. Oh, kids are too violent from watching the Three Stooges and Bugs Bunny. You remember that?
I
You
remember
that?
Bugs- oh, yeah.
Come on, man. They were like Bugs Bunny.
You know
Seriously,
what?
Bugs Bunny is the reason your kid is a butthole.
This is the difference in our generations, I guess. Apparently, it seems to me that IQs must be dropping with successive generations because when we were kids and we would watch Bugs Bunny, we didn't actually go out and try to emulate that.
Okay, here's
when
the
we played with
parallel.
our friends afterward. We understood it was just a cartoon.
Yeah. When you watch cartoons today,
Uh-huh.
they're still just as mean, but it's all talk. And the problem with that is kids can actually talk like that. So kids are like hella rude. Because if you watch cartoons, characters are always rude. They're always snarky, but they don't ever get like physical like a Bugs Bunny or a Tom and Jerry type thing.
Okay.
But they are mean and just rude. So now you got a bunch of kids who are actually mean and rude, but they're not going to hit you.
No, later
No,
on
they'll
in life,
just
they'll
talk
just
crap
grab a
about
deer
you.
rifle and go to the top
Yeah.
of a building.
Well, that's just it. They're pushing kids to do that kind of thing because these kids get on Facebook and you get the cyberbullying thing because, oh, it was funny when I saw Ben 10 do it or some crap like that.
Who?
Never mind.
That's
Joe.
what Aaron says.
Good grief.
He says in the chat, between all the Stooges, Larry would be the one to go on a mass killing.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
Chevelle is Larry then. Yeah.
I can see that.
I can see that too.
Well,
See,
All
that's
right,
it.
I better not say it. I don't want to implicate myself.
Mo is not the you guys keep thinking that Mo is the bully, but he's actually not the violent type. See, he got all of his aggression and frustration out dealing with the knuckleheads, and then he didn't have to take it out on innocent bystanders.
It's just like the Purge.
Yeah,
Purged?
I guess so. You get so frustrated working with
Yeah,
knuckleheads.
the Purge, Three Stooges edition.
Knuckleheads.
Good grief.
Oh man, didn't they try to bring back the Three Stooges?
They
They
made a
did.
movie out of it,
yeah,
and it was
with,
terrible.
Not Will Arnett. What's that guy with
I don't
from
know.
Mad TV?
I didn't watch it. That's how bad it was.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Not Will Forte. I think it was Will Sasso. Yes, I think Will Sasso played Curly.
Okay, Chevelle, you're looking.
Yeah,
at
you can't do something like that because it doesn't play in like modern culture. You'd have to change it too much where it won't work.
I mean it's so ultra violent. I mean,
Ultra what?
I would actually like to see like a really like graphic, violent Three Stooges. I think that would be
With, like,
interesting.
real-
yeah,
with,
like
like,
where they're
real,
really braining each other and really
real
poking each
results.
other's eyes out.
What would that
Can you
be?
imagine how sociopathic that would look?
What would that be, like Pulp Stooges?
Yeah, something like that. That'd be kind of cool.
what? That's what turned people off The Walking Dead when they
Yeah.
popped that Asian guy's eye out.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Okay, so clearly we need to be very concerned about you.
I mean, I'm not going to do it. At least I'm not going to talk about
Today?
it before I do it.
Yeah. So speaking of things that would be best not talked about before being done, what do you think about? Oh, well, maybe
Go
I
ahead.
should.
Do
No,
it.
no, wait.
Do
Yeah,
it.
let me do this first.
Trump in the news.
That never gets old.
Yeah. So you know, Trump wants to send the National Guard to the borders now, but they can't function as police, which apparently he didn't. I don't think he knew that you cannot federalize the military, and so
Isn't it federal by nature?
well, but you can't make them a police force. You can't.
But
What
I
are
mean,
they-
aren't they though?
What
they're
are they
not.
doing then?
That's the thing. They're supposed to go down there and do surveillance. I don't know what that's supposed to be good for. Then they can go and tell someone. They're like that kid on the schoolyard. I'm gonna go tell a teacher.
Well, no, hold on. Let's think about this
They're
because as
glorified
far as
mall
being a
cops?
police force,
Yeah,
that's
basically.
exactly what they are. Because they brought in the National Guard during the Civil Rights Movement. They brought in the National Guard during a lot of the other hippie stuff. They always acted as a police/peacekeeping force. So that's exactly what they've been used for. Number one, we haven't really had a domestic attack where they were put into use. The few times we have had a domestic attack, we've responded with what is now Homeland Security or the full-blown military. If you go back to Pearl Harbor.
Uh-huh.
So, but here's the other thing. If they're on the border and someone is crossing illegally, technically it's not so much a crime as it is they could literally say that is a national security issue, and therefore the border should be protected by the military, which is one of the things the military is supposed to do.
Except that you can only use the military when an actual war has been declared.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's just a
But
matter for civilian
They've
law
already
enforcement.
declared that war. That's the
Have
catch.
they? No,
Yes,
they have not
No,
declared
yes,
a
they
war.
did.
No, they have not. There's
declared-
been no congressional decree of
yes,
war.
They did. And this was the problem that I had when they did it back in the early 2000s. They have the war on terrorism. And if you remember back in that time, the whole thing that they always use to push this whole border security thing is, oh, terrorists are going to come in through Mexico. That's always what they say. And that's exactly the card they're going to throw out if something does go down on the border. We've got to protect the border. We don't know who they were. We thought they were terrorists. I mean, you see this kind of thing happening in the streets of Pasadena. We didn't know the kid was just getting out to pump gas. We thought he was going to go rob the store. So we beat him up.
He was resisting.
That's what you chime in with? He was resisting.
Oh yeah.
And you know
that,
what?
And oh yeah, check out this Three Stooges. Apparently, it was directed by the Farrelly brothers. How is it not good?
'Cause it just wasn't.
Huh.
I thought they could do no wrong.
Yeah, apparently that's what the studios thought too.
Yeah, Sean Hayes, Chris Diamantopoulos, and Will Sasso were the Three Stooges.
Yeah,
Do you actually pay attention to any of our conversations, or are you literally just in your
He
own
is
world the
fascinated
entire
by
time?
the Three Stooges.
I totally replied to exactly what you were talking about, and you called me racist.
What?
He kind of did, though.
He kind of was.
I don't recall ever saying such a thing.
Maybe not in so many words, but we knew what you meant.
That kid was resisting.
Listen, Trump, don't put words in my mouth.
If that kid had done what the cops were telling him
Well,
to
see
do,
that. Well, my point is
He wouldn't
they've
have
already
gotten his
declared the
leg
war.
busted.
You know what? I'm not gonna.
And here's
I'm not gonna argue with you on that one, Todd. They were just talking about that mall shooting that took place a couple days ago, and everybody is mad. Oh my God, they shot him, and everybody saw it in the mall. Okay, the dude's running around with a big old knife in his hand. The cops have been screaming at him for forever. Put the knife down, stand down. Instead, he turns around and starts running into the crowd. Now, those same people that are mad that the police shot him would be furious if this guy walked in and started playing hack and slash in the crowd.
Yeah, it's the same.
Why
response
didn't they
that
stop
that
him?
one cop got for not running in for the kids in that school.
Exactly.
shooting.
This is a catch-22 for the police. They're damned if they do and damned if they don't.
But come on, man. They're. All right. So is this what we're going to talk about?
And apparently it's morphing into that. We're moving away from
Okay,
National
so if
Guard
we're-
and more
if we're
into
talking
how
police
it's not
state-
fair for the cops.
First off, they are militarizing the police, and they're turning the military into police. So you're basically going to end up with a force that has all authority.
They're
They're militarizing the police, and they're turning the military into police.
Okay.
So those borders and those lines have all been blurred. And the bottom line is, if anybody way back when the towers came down had actually stood up and said it's not a good idea, then we wouldn't have this conversation right now. The bottom line is that's what they're going to do. It is done. It's actually codified in law that they have the right to do it, and there's not a whole lot we can do.
No, the Constitution says they can't do it.
Well, the Constitution says a lot of stuff, but we're still not listening.
Well, yeah, I think it's just one of those things that people are up in arms, and the senators and everybody else in the government feel like they have to respond in some way. Just like the stupid administrators of that school that got shut up in Florida felt like they had to respond in some way, and guess what we get? We get all the students have to have freaking clear backpacks now, even though that does absolutely zero to theoretically stop this guy who wasn't a student coming in and shooting up the school.
I don't know. It's sounding like you're arguing against gun control, Todd.
I'm arguing against dumb decisions that aren't going to help the situation.
Like gun control?
Why do you have to have a clear backpack?
I don't know.
Well, that way we can tell if you're stealing the school's iPad.
Yeah, that's
It
a better reason.
I mean, you answered the question at the very beginning. They just want to feel like they're doing something.
Yeah,
because
they
people
wanna
get
be on the
outraged and they
record.
just want to, say, oh, I got my name signed on this little ordinance we passed. It says I care.
I did something.
Yeah, and but the flip side of that is you've got all of the citizens who are okay with that. That's a bigger problem to me.
And that's the problem is that, yeah, you say you have to stand up and do something, but it's so much easier to lay down and let the apathy just wash over you.
It sounds so comforting when you say that.
Just sit down and watch the Kardashians and, take your...
Drink your kombucha.
Drink your sleep and all, or what's that sleep drug that makes people crazy?
Ambien?
Ambien? Yeah, that stuff.
What the hell are you talking about?
Take an Ambien.
You're making so much sense right now.
And just go to sleep. Just never wake up.
Wow, Todd, you paint such a very bleak picture, and it's like kind of 1980s.
You know what?
That's very
where we're
Orwellian,
going, though, man. That's
very
exactly where
Orwellian
we're
of you
going.
right there.
That is exactly
What is
where
that
we're going.
sound?
I don't know. I was wondering that myself.
Is that mine? Nope.
No, you know what?
That's yours.
That might be my phone. Yeah,
That's the one that you plugged in, right next to the microphone.
That's a real
and you
problem.
keep turning that knob down.
I know that's a real problem too because
Why don't you set it right here?
Because if I silence this, then we won't know if we actually get a telephone call.
Then you can see the screen flashing. That's why it does.
Doop-a-doop-a-doo.
Yeah, just turn that off. Hijo.
Doop-a-doop-a-doo.
Yeah. Anyway, so
And if you do want to call, dial 951-356-6882.
yeah, that'd be good.
Tracy, don't get me poked in the eyes.
After the show, we're gonna poke Todd in the eyes after the show.
If we get enough upvotes, if we get 50 likes,
That's it. If we get 50 likes, we're gonna poke Todd in the eyes after the show. What do you say? Are you in for this, Joel?
jeez.
Yeah, as long as I come out on top, I'm good.
Okay.
So I'm not the one that gets poked.
Yeah. Hey, Joe, go grab a wrench.
What?
Go grab a wrench.
Oh,
let's escalate this.
I see. Okay.
Hey, this drives views. We might have like 4 viewers right now.
Wait, we could do a whole Three Stooges act right in here because we're actually not that far off.
Yeah.
What
were we supposed to be talking about?
I don't even remember. In fact, it's time for a break now anyway. So,
we're not going to talk about National Guard going to the Mexico.
you know, when we come back
we
from the
kinda
break,
covered it.
we'll have to talk about the National Guard.
We
But
touched on it.
I'm still incensed that the police get in trouble every time they actually do something, and then they get in trouble when they don't do something.
They get in trouble because they're not doing it right.
You know, and speaking
Let's
of
be clear.
what?
Let's be clear. Let's be clear.
So you want them all to just stand there and go, stop that?
When you say
oh,
that-
you're not going to listen to me? Okay, I'll just go sit over here in the corner.
No, and I have less of a problem with the police than I do with people who like to stand by.
I think we're now actually getting a telephone call. Go figure. All right, let's see if we can put
So
that
we're gonna
on the
nix
air.
the break, or
yeah,
what?
we're gonna nix the break.
Nix the
Hey,
break for this 35-minute phone call.
you're on the air around midnight. How are you doing tonight?
Wait, how much does this cost per minute?
How much does this cost a minute? I don't know. That depends on your service provider.
Yeah, it's a Google voice number.
Just tell her it's free.
I mean, it's a.
It's free. It's totally free.
Well, I'm
calling-
whispering so you can hear me.
It's an
but she's
Aruba.
not supposed to hear me.
What is this, an Aruba number? So, you know.
You're not supposed to
Yes.
say it out loud. Just keep her on the phone. Just keep her on the phone.
Yeah, she's there. She's laughing.
We're getting paid per minute.
It's good. If she's laughing, it's good.
We're getting
Hold
a cut. We're getting a cut, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
We should.
So according to my computer, you logged on and you have viruses. You have many viruses on your computer.
Many viruses.
But if you install
Yeah.
the
So I want you-
Mixified Cleaner app, we can take care of all that for you.
Do you guys make a lot of Unix viruses for my Mac?
Hey, Todd is totally into Unix.
Wow. Wow.
So hurtful. Being stabbed in the eyes and possibly eunuchified.
Golly.
I couldn't wait to get.
What does it mean to be into Unix?
This is a bad show for me.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
let's not dwell on that. You leave that to your imagination. Just think of Todd. Never mind.
Don't leave that to your imagination.
never mind.
Abolish the thought.
Tracy, what did you call to talk about tonight?
So I called to talk about what you guys are saying about schools feeling like they have to respond. A couple of the other responses that you did not talk about was the idea of arming teachers,
Yes.
which some
Yeah.
universities in Texas have done.
Yes.
The other one is self-defense rocks. Every
Yes.
kid gets a self-defense rock, and
Whoa.
A
if there's an
self-defense
attacker,
rock.
we're all going to throw rocks at it.
Yes. And you know what the sad thing is? They're probably going to pay ridiculous amounts of money for these rocks.
They get a nice smooth.
They're going
river-
to import
river
these rocks. Yeah, these rocks are straight from the self-defense capital of the world,
I'm
Northern
sorry,
California.
What does a
the
rock
Bay
do
Area.
against somebody with a 357?
Hey, works for the Palestinians.
Hey, if
357. They're not even coming in with 357.
Yeah,
if
they're
everyone's
coming in
got
with-
a
Coming in with
rock,
bigger caliber stuff.
Yeah,
if everyone's got a rock, it'll do something.
30-06.
Yeah.
223.
I don't know of any junior high school student that's got an arm and the accuracy to hit somebody at range with a rock when they're blanket firing a weapon.
Hold on.
Well,
I
then
have
the
a question.
shooter should
Did you
be.
ever play D&D? What's the damage on a rock?
Yeah.
Isn't it like 1d6?
I think it's 1d4.
Come on.
It's probably 1d4.
I
of you
have
guys had to
no
have played
idea.
No, it's
rock.
like 1d2.
Come on.
You got to flip a coin for damage
Right.
on that one.
Are you telling me none of you played D&D and don't know the damage on a rock?
I'm afraid.
Come on.
I'm afraid I'm out of this
Let me open
one.
up the compendium real quick.
I just looked at the
and,
pictures. They were fun.
See the Monsters compendium here.
Really? You are
Okay,
really
okay,
looking
Okay,
that up.
3.5
What is-
5.0. Come on.
What is the armor
3.5,
value of
5.0.
the assailant? And do they have any pluses, like any enhancements, spells cast, or anything like that?
Are you
Usually,
serious?
they tend to be high school students, so I'm going to guess no enhancements.
Okay. I
And
don't
they're
know.
probably not even full grown,
They
so
don't
you
have
might want
a,
to have to minus a couple things from them.
Yeah, and usually they're the weakest of the high school
They
students.
have a +2
so-
against missiles.
That would be a missile attack.
I'm,
Good
Yeah,
call.
it would be a
I'm
missile
concerned that this conversation
Well,
is
no,
going
it,
this
it,
deep.
it could be a melee attack if you don't actually throw it.
Yeah. I guess you really, it's a very versatile
see
weapon.
what you
is
started?
What you're saying.
Hold on. Okay, my next question is, does that have more damage than a banana peel? I mean, you guys talked about the
Ooh,
three
I
Stooges,
don't know.
so
I don't know.
Oh, if you're talking Mario Kart now, you're talking my language.
I know,
You
might-
could really trip a guy up.
All bets are off if you roll in a natural 20.
No, but seriously, did you guys see, like, I remember seeing a news story about some of the ideas that they had about anti-shooting programs in schools, and some of them included, like, barricades for the doors and, like, weird systems in the hallways that shoot out smoke and crap.
Yeah, all of which is going to work. They can't even get toilets to work in schools. So now we're going to have, like, these countermeasures, this
Yeah.
military-grade hardware installed in the hallways.
How about those panic
to
doors
deflect,
that just
like, Scud
bulletproof
missiles?
panic doors that like they have there in the liquor stores where that
Perfect.
wall comes up in like a tenth of a
And
second.
naturally, it's going to come up when some kid's running through the hallway, and there's going to be a face full of door.
Door.
Actually, what I was thinking more of, the fact they'll put all this stuff in, but it'll take as long as it takes to adopt new books for us to get the training on how to use it.
Yeah,
So it'll
yeah,
be there, but we can't use it because no one's qualified. So
Yeah. Well, we should commission a study, create a
you
subcommittee
should.
to investigate the possibility of looking into finding a potential solution about a conversation.
Onto which
investigating-
rocks are most missile-like.
Whoa. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. First, we got to talk about talking about that. Then we'll talk about talking about
well,
that.
first you have to have the meeting.
we'll talk about that.
having the meeting.
And then we'll
Oh,
talk about
man. Wait,
deciding
what are we
about what we
having?
talked about.
What lunch are we having at this meeting? Because if there's no good lunch, I won't even go. And then you won't have a quorum, and you can't decide anything.
Yeah, are we talking, Jimmy John
Yeah,
sandwiches?
is this a morning meeting or? Because I don't do mornings.
Yeah, are we talking OJ and bagels?
Wait, O.J.
Is
Simpson's
this going
involved?
to interrupt my Friday afternoon yoga class? Because we just can't do that.
It's a no-go, guys.
Well, maybe they could merge the yoga with the meeting and the donuts.
See, that's what they should do. Give teachers guns and yoga.
Oh, man, they should put those yoga goats in the classes. That would do it, right?
Yoga goats.
Yoga
Have you
goat?
seen those videos of those classes, yoga classes, where they have a goat that just hangs out with you, and it you're down in your downward dog, and the goat jumps up on your back?
What?
You're downing your
What-
downward dog.
What are you talking about?
Todd, that's a different website.
Yeah,
And,
that's right up there with the Unix.
You
that
got to be careful about that kind of thing. Your Twitter feed is going to be all kind of messed up if you keep that kind of stuff up.
Seriously, especially since this is now going on Facebook. The FBI might start following you.
I
Yeah.
had the National Security show up at my door a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, it's hot yoga, so just Google hot goats,
Goat yoga?
Do not
yoga
put hot
pants.
in yoga. Oh, no. Come on.
No, because then he's going to misenter it as hot goats, and then it's just going to really be bad.
Actually, goats are some of my favorite things to watch on YouTube.
Oh.
The screaming goat videos, those
Yeah.
are hilarious.
where they mash it up.
Ah! Those things are hilarious. And then the fainting goats, those ones are cool too.
Yeah, hilarious.
Okay, so I think we've covered the gamut there. Okay, so what we have learned is we need to throw goats at gun offenders. That's the decision, right?
I'm not sure how you arrived at that
And-
conclusion.
And the day is saved.
Hold
And-
on.
and
you
knowing
also
is
need
half
to
the
train
battle.
the teachers
Oh yeah, train
on
the
how
teachers
to throw the goats.
how to throw the goats, right? Can't leave that out.
Okay, so you're on board with the goat solution.
You know, the
Ooh.
sad thing is there's somebody out there right now who's creating a curriculum on goat throwing that will probably get a government grant.
Oh man, that
In
would be
order
a
to
cool
do that.
countermeasure. You could just release a bunch of fainting goats into the hallway where the shooter is, and then they'll just faint all over the place, and they'll totally trip him up.
Again, we're completely discounting the range that the weapon has. Just because
But
there's a
he's
bunch
tripping.
of goats that are down in front of him, he doesn't mean he can't hit the targets.
But he's falling.
Who's
He's falling. The assailant is falling.
No,
Joe.
he's not. The goats are falling.
That's what the rocks are for.
You forgot about the rocks.
I don't want to go to any school you're involved in. That's what I've determined. And my kid's not going to any school you're administrating.
Probably one of the safest schools ever.
Yeah, armed with rocks and fainting goats.
How could you possibly go
Don't forget-
wrong?
Don't forget goat yoga.
Goat.
And goat yoga.
breath work.
Right. They're
And
replacing.
breath work Tuesday.
They would
Yeah, you
replace
definitely
physical
gotta-
education with goat yoga.
Got to put in the breath work, yeah.
All right. Yeah, I don't know where we go from there, Tracy, but thanks for the call.
I think we go to the yoga studio.
You're
thanks.
welcome. You're welcome. I thought I would liven up the conversation.
And yes, this you did for sure.
Awkward silence.
All right, now we really do have to go take a break.
Okay.
So, but keep watching the show, would you? And then maybe you can call back.
Okay.
I can't believe we
All
just
right.
went 5 minutes talking about goats.
About
Someone
goat
still
yoga.
needs to figure out what the damage is on the rocks, but anyway.
Okay, yes, and also, how many likes do we have now, Todd? Do we have the 50 likes yet so we can poke you in the eyes?
Nope.
Oh. Tracy, get all your friends to like the show really quickly, please.
You're like, sounds like you didn't even
I'll
look.
do that right now.
They've got 10 minutes, all right, so we can poke Todd in the
Okay.
eyes. All right,
I think I have about 40 friends on right now. so I think I can
awesome.
do it.
That'd be perfect.
Yeah, we're on for another 5 minutes.
Another 5? No, I think it's another 10.
Yeah, okay.
All right,
I'm just trying to get the rush
Okay,
on.
bye.
bye-bye. Thanks for the call. Okay, this is Around Midnight with the Local Boys, and as you can see, we really are live, and you can call 951-356-6882. We'll be back right after this. Around Midnight is a production of Mixified Media Solutions. Mixified is a full-service multimedia production company. From boardroom to broadcast, whatever your production needs, Mixified is your solution. Go to Mixified.com, that's Mixafied, or call 951-356-6882. Mixified Media Solutions.